In this recorded video presentation, we will be learning how to check a child's immunization status and vitamin A status. We have to check immunization status for all sick children. So we will check if the children receive all the immunizations recommended for his or her age, and we have to check if the child need any immunizations today during the visit. Then use also the DOH recommended immunization schedule. So we have to use the national immunization schedule when we are to check the child's immunization status. So we are supposed to look at the assess and classify chart and locate the recommended immunization schedule in the IMCI chart. But since the immunization schedule included in the chart is not Philippine-based, then we have to refer for immunization schedule in the schedule shown in the next slide. Please do not follow the immunization schedule in page 34 in our chart because that is not our national immunization schedule. We will follow this one instead, the one that is shown in the slide. So, at birth, we give BCG and hepatitis B1. 6 weeks, we give pentavalent 1, OPV1, PCV1, and rotavirus 1. And then at 10 weeks of age, we give the second doses of those vaccine. And then at 14 weeks, we give pentavalent 3, OPV3, PCV3, and then IPV vaccine. Okay? So the IPV stands for inactivated polio vaccine, which will be given besides the PVC vaccine. So at 9 to 11 months, we give MMR, which means measles, mumps, and rubella. And then 12 to 15 months, we give MMR2, school entrance, so meaning to say, pag grade 1, we give BCG again. And then 9 years old, we give HPV or the human papilloma virus. But the immunization under our DOH program are only those intended for 59 months below. So sometimes we have also HPV available in the health centers, but it's not always. So ideally, each child receive all the recommended immunizations for under 5 before their first birthday. But we had an allowance since the MMR can be administered within 12 to 15 months. So if the child does not come for an immunization at the recommended age, give the necessary immunizations at time after the child reaches that age. So give the remaining doses at least 4 weeks apart. No need to repeat the whole schedule. Contraindications to immunization. In general, no contraindications to immunization of sick child if the child is well enough to go home. Contraindications that are considered false are the following. Malnutrition. No, it's not a contraindication, but instead, it is an indication that we have to immunize the child. Another is low-grade fever, mild respiratory infection, and diarrhea. So children with diarrhea who are due for OPV should receive a dose of OPV during the visit. However, the dose is not counted. The child should return when the next dose of OPV is due. Then, we do not give pentavalent vaccine to children over 5 years of age. Pentavalent to a child with recurrent convulsions or another active neurological disease of the CNS or central nervous system And we do not give also pentavalent 2 or 3 to a child who has had convulsions or shock within 3 days of the most recent dose of pentavalent. Okay, that is because the pertussis, no, usually it's the pertussis vaccine that is included in the pentavalent that causes the convulsion because of its effect to central nervous system disorder. So, instead of giving pentavalent to that child with convulsions who experience convulsions, then we can give the child individual doses like diphtheria only. No? So, single dose. We do not give also rotavirus when the child has a history of hypersensitivity to previous dose of the vaccine, intussusceptions or intestinal malformation or acute gastroenteritis. We do not give also BCG and other live attenuated vaccine to a child who has signs and symptoms of AIDS or other immune deficiency or who are immunosuppressed. So, immunosuppressed either due to drug treatment or underlying illness, no? Like for example, the HIV. So, the BCG is not given because it is a live attenuated bacteria. Other vaccines that are live attenuated are the OPV, which is a live attenuated virus. The MMR is also a live attenuated virus. Oh, there is even a tetravalent vaccine. We call that MMRV, wherein the V stands for varicella or chickenpox, but that is not the one that is included in the DOH program. No, it's only MMR. And then the rotavirus is also a live attenuated virus. So we are also to advise the caregiver to make sure that the other children in the family are immunized. So give also the mother tetanus toxoid if it is required. Then in checking the child's immunization status, we have to decide if the child needs immunization today. No, if we are to give the child immunization today. So for that, we have to look at the child's age on the clinical record. If you do not know the child's age, since it's not shown in the record, then ask about the child's age. Then ask the mother or the caregiver if the child has an immunization card. If the mother answers yes, ask her if she has brought the card to the health center today. If she brought the card with her, ask her to see the card. Compare the child immunization record with the recommended immunization schedule. Decide whether the child has had all the immunizations recommended for the child's age. On the recording form, check all immunizations the child has already received. Circle any immunizations that the child needs to receive today. If the child is not being referred, explain to the mother that the child needs to receive an immunization or immunizations today. If the mother says that she does not have an immunization card with her, then ask the mother to tell you what immunization the child has received. Use your judgment to decide if the mother has given a reliable report. If you have doubt, immunize the child. Give immunizations according to the child's age. Give an immunization card to the mother and ask her to please bring it with her each time she brings the child to the health center. And then we also have to check the child's vitamin status. So check the vitamin A status of all sick children. We have to remember that vitamin A plays a vital role in the growth and development of children. It helps prevent invasion of infectious organisms, and it maintains tissue in the skin, in the respiratory tract, and in the intestinal tract, and same with the cornea of the eye. So we have to use the recommended vitamin A schedule. All children 6 months should receive 100,000 international units of vitamin A. Then, they should receive 200,000 IU of vitamin A every 6 months thereafter, up to age of 59 months. Okay, usually, when you will go on duty to the health centers, you will be seeing two colors of vitamin A, the blue and the red color. Usually, the blue color one is the 100,000 IU vitamin A, which is intended for children 6 to 11 months. The red color usually is the 200,000 IU vitamin A, which is intended for 12 months to less than 5 years old children. One thing also that is very important is to observe precautions in vitamin A administration, since overdosage can be a problem of vitamin A supplementation. So to avoid that, before giving vitamin A to a child, we have to ask two questions. First, is the child 6 months or older? If yes, then ask the second question. Has the child has a dose of vitamin A in the past 6 months? So check also on the clinical record of the growth monitoring chart the date on which the vitamin A was last given. If the child is 6 months of age or older and has not had a dose of vitamin A in the past 6 months, then give single dose. A child may develop vomiting, headaches, or nausea after taking vitamin A. Reassure the mother that should these symptoms develop, they will disappear within 24 hours. Then, assess other problems. Since the assess and classify chart does not address all of a sick child's problem, you will now assess other problems the mother told you about. Like for example, she may have said the child has a skin infection, itching, or swollen neck glands. Or you may have observed another problem during the assessment. So identify and treat any other problems according to your training, experience, and health center policy. Then refer the child for any problem you cannot manage in the health center. And that is the end for this recorded presentation. Thank you for your attention.